Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the opportunity. So, the three questions. First of all, what does mathematics mean to me? And what mathematics means to me, three things: truth, beauty, and power. Can you hear me at the back? Good. So, truth, most mathematicians that I know are congenitally incapable of lying. In fact, I had a physics student come and ask me for advice about physics subjects he might do, and I'm saying, why are you asking me? And he said, because you're incapable of lying, and I took that as a high compliment. So truth is really, really important to me, and mathematics is something that can help you ascertain the truth. Now, there are times when I teach mathematics which involves various versions of the truth. I love teaching set theory because it makes people think about what the truth is and what that means and what consistency means and how you can have separate consistent set sort of axiomatic frameworks in which strange things happen in both. So reflecting even on what truth means is important to me. But beauty, I mean, to me, I got hooked at many times on mathematics repeatedly, and there was one time particularly when I was in high school, in fact, and bizarrely enough, I was being taught second-order differential equations in high school, in a public school in London. And reinventing the integrating factor technique with my teacher was something that I will never forget. So that elegance of being able to say, oh, wow. And that takes me to the third point, which is the power. And the power of mathematics is spectacular. And just like with all power, it's possible to abuse it. And I think in the modern age, we're getting to the stage where data is ubiquitous and data analysis is freely available and enables people to do many, many things, some of which are good, some of which are not so good. So I think we need to watch out for that. So that's the first question. I've only got 3 minutes, apparently. Gosh, it's going to... So how to attract students to study higher levels of mathematics? And my answer to this one is a real difficult one, because I think it's a cultural change. I think we need to adjust societal expectations. I think it needs to be a societal expectation that people do high levels of mathematics. I think talent is overrated, and many societies which outperform us in various mathematical metrics do so simply because it's expected that people will do mathematics and do well at mathematics. And that societal expectation is really important. My background is Spanish, and in Spain, everybody is expected to be able to do mathematics and do it well, and it is so ubiquitous that it has actually made it into the insult vocabulary. So there is a Spanish insult. My favorite Spanish insult translates as, you are more useless than a zero on the left. And everybody knows what it means. And, you know, I've had friends at bars saying, oh, zero on the left. You know, and this is an insult. So now, that tells you where mathematics sits in the culture. Once it's there as an insult that everybody understands, that's a completely different perspective on mathematics to one where we think that you need talent in order to do so. The other thing I think we need in order to encourage people to do higher levels of mathematics is to acknowledge mathematics as being more like a foreign language than like other disciplines. So mathematics is highly incremental. The things that you do today depend critically on the things that you did yesterday and last year. And when somebody misses a week of school, that's it. Unless they patch that up, they're going to be flaky for the rest of their lives. And so we've had a situation where lots of people have missed out on little bits and never quite made them up, and then they become highly insecure. So I think we not only need to recognize that, but develop mechanisms that are sustainable for trying to catch those students up. Because when you've got a class of 30 or 40 students, or in our case, we have one subject in which we have 2,000 students enrolled in first year, it becomes really, really hard to do that individually. Again, I think the rise of computation and computers will enable us to do that, and I don't wish to endorse the Khan Academy, but the Microsoft sponsorship of the Khan Academy, I think, is one of those leading indicators of where the future lies. So those sorts of things are going to be possible and should be embraced in some sense. And the final question, how do we encourage people to pursue teaching as a career, and particularly mathematics teaching? So 2 things here. Firstly, we have to be a little bit careful, because we do not want to get into the situation where there are people in classes who are not passionate about mathematics. So we don't want the incentives to be such that they encourage people who are not passionate about mathematics to be teaching mathematics. That is a problem. But having said that, we have plenty of people who are passionate about mathematics, and increasingly, for all the reasons that I've already outlined, their alternative employment possibilities are so lucrative and so attractive that we have a dive in the number of students who are going on into teaching as a career. And so I think as a society, again, it's a cultural change. We need to recognise and value teachers, and we need to make that alternative career choice attractive and competitive with the other career options that are currently available to our students.
Right.
Thank you.